Welcome to the Two and a Half Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
It's Pabs.
Hey, it's Ruben.
And we're just going to get right into it. So, as you can see, we're Team Selena. And that's just what we're going to say off rip. So,
we have to.
What does it mean to be Team Selena?
It means you watched Wizards of Waverly Place growing up.
I did always want to own a sub shop. I'm not going to lie. So, this is where we're going to start laying down the groundwork to how we feel about this whole thing, which the main argument, it's not, yes, there's things that happened, and we're going to get into what happened to cause these things. But the big thing is, how do you feel about Nepo babies? Are y'all familiar with the Nepo babies term?
Nepotism? So, like, you get stuff because of your family?
Right. Like, because of your family, you've been put in the position that you are, i.e., Kylie Jenner with the Kardashians, also Haley Baldwin with the Baldwins, right? We got homeboy Alec Baldwin fresh off catching a case, you know what I'm saying?
Catching
a body.
Wait.
The sake of thespianism.
I want to ask you guys, if you're Justin, do you like start treading lightly around this whole beef because your father-in-law caught a body and then bragged about it on Instagram?
But you know how much money you can like put on Baldwin's head? Like, you got to think like Bieber got that like get rid of someone money.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Ruben? Would you be worried?
I don't think the Baldwins make nearly as much.
That's true. He got that boss baby money though.
Was he bragging about the body he caught in the movie?
No. So a year after it happened, he literally made an Instagram post saying like it's just, you don't understand what the context or why, but he basically says in remembrance, in a sense. He didn't say like, my condolences to the family. He just goes like 1 year ago today.
Yeah.
And you're just like, are you reminiscing? Like, the fuck going on? Like,
yeah.
It was so ominous. It was just like,
literally.
Yeah. Like, he basically like, I got my teardrop tattoo. It's healed up. Like,
yeah.
It was like one of those things. Like,
it was like, you know how you like go and visit the Alamo and then you say never forget kind of thing?
Yeah.
It felt like that. That was the vibes I was getting. So what's going on is it's technically, yes, over eyebrows, which is so basically what happened. All right. Which what we got here, what we know that's going on is basically on February 21st. So that's how like close this thing. So this is less than a month ago. There is an app called TikTok that is run by the Chinese that we're trying to ban as a country.
I think we should.
Until that happens, Selena Gomez on her Instagram stories and her TikTok posted a bunch of videos, and she mimicked saying that her name is Bella Hadid, but basically the words placed in that video read that she wishes she was as pretty as Bella Hadid. Well, that was like in a mimicking voice. She followed by another video where she said in her own voice, instead, this is me. I laminated my brows too much. So in that video, she's basically kind of like being a more authentic person, basically being like, not afraid to show mistakes that they've made and show that they're not perfect by basically being like, hey, yo, I overdid this eyebrow lamination, my fault, whatever. My name is Selena Gomez, so it doesn't even sound sexy, right? That's another video that she puts on there, right? So she's kind of like self-deprecating, but like in a relatable way. So on the same day, about 3 hours later, Kylie Jenner posted a picture of herself in an Instagram story with the words, "This was an accident," with a bunch of question marks. So positioned over her eyebrows. So because of that, people were thinking that she is shading Selena Gomez because both posts include eyebrows. So people are just saying eyebrows plus eyebrows equal. Right. It's all subliminal.
So is Drake a mean girl too?
Yeah, I mean, he hangs with the whole squad. He's like ultimate mean girl. So on the same day, Justin Bieber posted a TikTok with himself and Kendall Jenner, and singer Justine Skype lip syncing the words, "I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right." So, who posted this? It said Bieber. Oh, Bieber being Haley Bieber. Because she's the Baldwin. So she's officially a Bieber.
Yeah.
So Haley Bieber Baldwin is the one that posted that. So more so thinking where it's like the idea is Kylie and Haley are like talking to each other, being like, can you see this bitch with her fucked up ass eyebrows? Oh, basically when she had her surgery and stuff too, she had gained weight.
But I will say this. They're being shady too because apparently, allegedly, or no, not alleged. I think it happened. She like passed her on Instagram followers or some shit.
Well, that's what started happening because of this. So basically, what happened is all this back and forth going on, and all of the fans are just speculating to be like, this is about this, this is about this. So, long story short, it just becomes a big thing where people are like, why are they shading people when in their way they've just been handed everything? They haven't had to like work to get themselves to that position. They've just managed to be
born in the right
socialites, and because of that, they are able to have all of their success.
So that's what they hating from outside of the talent club, bro. Like,
yeah, because Selena Gomez actually had to like do stuff. She was out here working, grinding on Barney back in the day, like on some real shit. And then apparently when she had gotten the surgery and all that stuff started happening, she had gained some weight, and people started making fun of that. I think there was some more subliminal story things. So basically, because of all that, people have mass unfollowed Kylie, like to the point where she like dropped down 1 million, and people started following Selena Gomez, which made her the most followed person on Instagram, taking over Kylie's spot. So now it's like, it's kind of just he said, she said speculation online, but it's causing real results in their business. Like, in a sense, this is really affecting Kylie, because if you lose 1 million followers, that's going to change how much you get paid for posts.
Well, that's what the fuck you get, bro. Like,
not only that, I think her makeup line's been struggling since that's been happening too. People have been kind of staying away from Kylie products and focusing on certain Selena Gomez products that she's been putting out.
From what I've heard, from like just what I've heard people say, that Kylie products and Hailey products are really mid, and they're cheaply made. Because they're basically just
color pop rebranded.
You're buying them off the name. You ain't buying them off the fact that they're good.
Right.
So
you literally, as long as you make a product just okay enough for people to come by and buy another one, then you get to keep that train going. But if the whole weight of the company lies on your name, and then your name starts getting tarnished, fucks the whole brand up.
Because it's like mid, right? Because it's like, why would you pay for this thing that's
like, you're
mid?
not going to do it just because it's like Jeffree Star had genuinely good products. So even when people thought that he was a piece of shit, people still wanted to buy his products. I feel like it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
But with Kylie, it's just the aesthetic. And the second that trend isn't the poppin' thing, you kind of start looking at it like, well, why am I even buying into this if I don't even believe in the person anymore? So now it's just been a big old push. Everyone's pro Selena, to the point where like people are getting together, unfollowing Kylie, supporting Selena. And I think it's just been I think there's been a shit show. I think it's the inside of SpongeBob's brain whenever he just like throws everything away to learn to be in fine dining. I think that's what's happening in the Kardashian camp right now. I think the Calabasas is going fucking crazy right now. And I just want to say that I'm Team Selena, because I've been infatuated with Selena Gomez since I was a child watching Barney, and she was on Barney. I was posted up back then. You talk about Wizards of Waverly Place. I was there before, dog. I was over there watching her in the playground with the big pink purple dinosaur. Play with me, fuck with me. It's a different game over here. Like, I've been on this shit since the jump. So like, don't even come.
What team are you, Ruben?
Bro, I have cable. I don't know anything about Selena Gomez. I've been like in a hole for the past month. I've not paid attention to anything. I'm like trying to catch up. That's just funny though. All the beef. It's insane.
Over some eyebrows.
I don't think
it's actually eyebrows. I think it's like all the
eyebrows
history
started it.
But but it's like,
but it's so petty. It's so like you can like taste the like
high school.
You gotta like scrape this and be like.
Well, of course, there's the things that we all know but didn't fully mention, which is that Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez dated on and off between like 2015 and 2018.
To this TikTok where this person allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because we ain't trying to get sued in this, so allegedly, this person on TikTok was saying that apparently Justin was texting Selena the day of his like wedding, like, "Hey, I still love you."
That's a lie.
So I was
well, here is the thing. It's such a weird timeline because
it is weird.
So what this says, right? If you're looking at the article, what we know for sure is that. Hold on, sorry. God dang it. That's what I. All right.
Is this sad that this is happening on Women's Week?
Also falling into the facts category.
Yeah, I mean, month.
All right. Selena Gomez dated Justin Bieber on and off from 2011 through 2018. Okay. Hailey Bieber dated Justin Bieber from 2015 to 2016, then got engaged to him soon after he and Gomez said goodbye for good. So in 2018, so from 2011 to 2018, in this window, Hailey and Justin have a year relationship. Once he finally says, all right, I'm completely done with the Selena thing, right after that in September, they go to the courthouse and get married, him and Justin and Hailey. So it just does seem like a weird love triangle type of situation where I know that the ex-girlfriend is going to feel, I mean, the current girlfriend and now wife is going to be kind of keeping tabs and preying on their downfall because that's like the natural human instinct.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you ain't got nothing popping, you're going to be like that.
But what people would say all the time is that Hailey seems to be super obsessed with like Selena. Like she won't like drop it like, yo, girl,
because she ain't got so nothing. Many years. What is she? Tell me something she got before Justin. Because I didn't even know who this girl was.
She needs a hobby.
Yeah, that's
crocheting. Maybe she could pick up crocheting.
Well, Pablo picked up pickleball. He said that's pretty popping right now in like the white circle. Yeah, no, I saw your facial expression. Tell me what you feel about that because he came up to me like excited. Like he came up to me excited like he was trying to get me in. He was trying to recruit me.
Put mayo on everything type of white.
No,
that's wild.
Yeah. So this is how I explained pickleball to Zen. So it's like if tennis and
let me white explain it to you.
If tennis and ping pong had a baby and the baby was like pretty unathletic, that's pickleball.
That's not what you said earlier.
No,
you don't want to.
All right.
That's so wild. I just love
no. Just imagine the greatest sport that could ever be invented.
He literally said his exact words were, "It's as if you take tennis and ping pong, and then they had a child, and the child's like missing a chromosome or something." Those were his exact words. He said it was a retarded sport. That's what he said.
That's not what I said.
That's what he said.
Nah, chill.
Now, he did not say that you must be R-worded to play the game, but he does feel that the game inherently is R-worded.
No,
is what he said.
It's just like easy, is what I'm trying to say. Like you can pick it up in a day.
You can pick it up in a day, but can you master it in a day? Because those whites really be on there. It's about consistency.
No, it's like those. How do I explain it? It's like,
is that the one with the trampoline on the floor?
No,
that's what that was.
That's spike ball. No, so it's in the realm of like white sports that are kind of athletic but kind of not.
Do they look at you weird when you're on the court? Like you don't belong, or do you?
No, Pablo's fully identified and assimilated into the white society.
No. It's like a little tennis court. So imagine you're playing like half court basketball.
Okay.
But so it's like a little tennis court. It has a net and everything.
Yeah.
But it's you're using like a smaller paddle. And the ball is like plastic.
Don't y'all take over the regular tennis court with that?
Some people do, yeah. No, we in our, so this is why we played it, because like in our apartment complex, it's on the roof. Like we got a court on the roof.
Damn. Yeah, my little brother hates pickleball because all the tennis courts turned into pickleball.
By it? Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if I could tear this down or not. He's like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
He's like, but it's fucking stupid. He's like, we just want to play tennis. We don't want this.
No, tennis is fire, bro. Like I've been on it. I was telling Zen about it too. I want my own racket.
You don't have your own racket?
No, I just borrow like extras.
Just go to the thrift store.
That's where I got mine.
I got a set. I
got a set.
That's where you get the golf clubs too.
All right, hey, are you trying to like, because like we could sharpen each other up so that you don't have to keep on practicing in front of your in-laws?
Yeah, like I wanna take lessons.
That's wild. Let's start.
No, but I think we could build each other up.
Start with letting me give you, because I understand the basic concepts.
No, I get the basic concepts.
No, but
too.
meaning like of hitting, because Alicia was varsity tennis. Okay. Yeah. Like Alicia was varsity tennis when she was like a junior.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like she was really good on tennis, and like she taught me what to do, like what I need to be working on.
Yeah.
So she's like, you want to hit it like this is the way you want it to be. Like told me all the stuff. And then it's just about getting those hits.
Yeah.
And then it's all about like your agility, because you need to go from place to place.
I ain't gonna lie though, when I have a kid, I do want them to play tennis, because think of the scholarships, bro.
I don't know how much I feel is accurate from this and what is not accurate from what's shade being thrown and what's not. But what it has seemed to do is make people wake up to like who they truly want to support. the internet era has allowed us now to like just solely make our own decisions and not let like marketing teams and PR teams mess with the way we feel
Well, they still mess with it.
as much. But one of the biggest, the thing I really want to talk to you right now is just kind of one of these.
Oh yeah.
I need to get y'all's opinion on this next one, because I'm feeling a certain way. Benito, Bad Bunny,
El Conejo Malo.
has
seen all the
been,
memes.
well, dude, it's been ridiculous. So he was caught, and this has already been kind of in the works of like news for a little bit, where people had been suspecting that Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner have some sort of thing going on.
Yo, how do they talk to each other?
I think it's
Google
everyone's been
Translate.
joking that is Duolingo.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a picture that came out of like Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner kissing. The thing that gets really weird about this whole thing is
I thought she was dating Devin Booker.
Well, here's another thing too: is what happened to Gabriella? What happened to like?
Didn't he have a girlfriend named
He's had
Gabriella?
this girlfriend named Gabriella that's always with him all the time. But what reports seemed to say, here's what the report seemed to say, that however they happen to have their relationship seems to possibly be open to where when he's out there, he's doing his thing, he's hooking up with whoever he wants to hook up with, in a sense. I mean, as Bad Bunny, kind of, what do you expect? And I guess he probably at the end of the day goes home to her. She's like his person, or whatever the case may be, right? So it always just looks mad disrespectful whenever he does this crazy shit.
Yeah.
But regardless, this one was one of those last straws when like people saw this, they truly felt let down by Bad Bunny. They truly felt like he turned against the culture to go in the most unseasoned Mayo way to be with Kendall. And this has just been, it's been a big thing because some people are hoping and praying to God. This is one time people are hoping and praying to God that this is some sort of formulated marketing scheme by Kris Jenner to be like, we going to sell this 818 tequila one way or another.
Yeah.
We getting this tequila off the shelves.
But also, he's Puerto Rican. Oh, wait. Everyone's Mexican. I forget.
Everyone's Mexican.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
This is the thing, though. It's been interesting because it's like yesterday was Bad Bunny's birthday when we were recording this. Yesterday, the day before. And purposely, people didn't celebrate him because they're upset with him right now.
Damn.
Purposely, fans were kind of like, and
that's the Hispanic pettiness, bro.
They were like, yeah, we ain't really going to celebrate your birthday this year because you disgracing the Latin name. So people really don't feel happy about that. And it is one of those things where people for the Latinas, it's one, and it's one of those things that you see with a lot of people.
Are we going Dr. Umar Johnson?
Yes, we kind of are, because
I've been feeling it lately.
It's one of these weird things where people feel that in order to further your culture and your heritage, that you kind of need to date within your culture or heritage.
You know who Dr. Umar Johnson is?
He's the one that says black dudes should only be dating black women and they shouldn't be going over here with these white girls like they always do. And it is one of those things that just always seems to happen. You have someone who's the most into their heritage and really tries to push it. And at the end of the day, they end up with the white girl. And that's just is what it is. I mean, you see that with Jordan Peele.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peele be making the most movies for the community and then be with the white girl. And that's kind of what ends up happening. Half white. That's what ends up happening. So when you see someone like Bad Bunny doing so much for the culture and basically being like, I'm not going to bend the knee to the English culture. I'm not going to start making English songs to appease the American population. I think Spanish is able to run the world and be the best-selling genre. And then he goes and gets together with the Kardashians, which is whatever until you really put in the Kardashian curse into the situation, which I didn't fully believe in until the whole Kanye stuff happened. Because when Kanye went in, I said, Kanye ain't gonna get taken by the Kardashian curse. Kanye's above that. Kanye is gonna run the Kardashians and make them do whatever he wants. And then you see what happened to Kanye.
So how long till Benito starts saying anti-Semitic stuff in Spanish?
No, I don't think it's that. It's just more so I wonder where it's okay, as an artist, you know that you're in the public eye all the time, right? But you can have these times where you just kind of go away and you live your private life and you try to kind of just have your thing. Well, what happens when you get home and stuff and you chilling with your girl and like the cameras start coming out and all of a sudden you continue to have to perform for the sake of this other business. And mind you, they respect your business. They respect when you have to go on tour. They respect when you have to go record. Would you not have to then respect what their business is and respect what makes, what brings money to them and like what their career is? So you have to be cool with them coming through and recording because you know that that's what they do. You know that that's what their life's about. All of a sudden you start getting storylines created in the moment and they chop things up. They're just filming everything regularly and creating storylines. So now all of a sudden you was just chilling with your girl. And now a few months later, you're getting attacked online because you walked to the left instead of the right. And the writers made it seem like you stormed out of the room because somebody said something crazy. And that's the way that this whole thing goes. And at a certain point, you lose track of like what is for reality and what is for entertainment.
Right.
And you become numb to this fact that when you lose your cool and when you're not it's your best behavior, it's the most entertaining thing for the show. No one wants to see you at your best. That's for when you're performing on stage. That's from when you're recording. They want to see what they see as the reality, what's like the dark, dirty truth. And I feel like you can only live in that for so long without being fully narcissistic and like kind of be like a normal person sort of and continue like the little bit of normalcy you have with it's basically the paparazzi at your crib. They're in the living room with you while you're watching F1.
This is what I'm yo, that's crazy. This is what I like, bro, Bad Bunny, like imagine spending Christmas with them. They're gonna ask you to sing Feliz Navidad.
What are you talking about?
They're gonna purposely put it on and just look at you.
No, but you have to realize too, it's like they seem to
or the Christmas playlist is just going. Feliz Navidad comes up and they all just look at you.
I wonder how it is because like the thing that everyone notices, like they're always, and Chris Rock talks about it. They're always like with Black people. It seems like they're always with like minorities or other races, and I don't know if that's for them to feel inclusive. I don't know if they seem to resonate with that culture or what it is.
It's because think about
point.
Look, Hispanics are about to start popping,
but like, no one has.
You got Jenna Ortega, you got Pedro Pascal, bro. Like you got Bad Bunny.
But you've never seen them like. People come out and be like, yo, they were mad racist towards me. I feel like somehow they managed to like what I truly think, and this is the hot take that when I even brought this up to Alicia, she like shut it down. She goes, why are you even when I look at Kendall, right?
Yeah.
We talk all this shit because of the stuff that we see, right? Because the whole thing of like the narrative that we get pushed. A lot of the people that I truly admire as artists all seem to really like Kendall. So Frank Ocean's really good friends with Kendall. Tyler the Creator is super good friends with Kendall. Jaden and all them have been like in that whole thing for a little bit, which leads me to believe these are all people who I've thought like are pretty good judges of like what's good and what's not. I trust their taste from like what I've seen over the years. And to me, it seems like if you truly know Kendall, like on a personal level away from all this shit, she might be like a cool girl who's like not as bad as the media paints her out to be. But because we have this like opinion towards her, when we see someone like Bad Bunny that we respect being with her, we're like, what does he see in her? Or how is he supporting X, Y, and Z? And I don't know if she's as bad as people say. I haven't been on the TikToks. Apparently the TikToks have been exposing how wild she is or how not good for him she is, but I haven't seen those.
What do you think, Ruben?
I think it's too much. Nobody cares, or we shouldn't care.
We do care though.
He wants.
We do care though.
But we shouldn't. Like he could live his own life. We can find somebody else. There's a bunch of artists that.
Well, right now we're in our Raul Alejandro era.
Yeah. See, like our like people that we look up to come and go. Nobody's perfect. Like that's the whole thing, right? Like they're all human. They're all gonna make mistakes. He can fuck whoever he wants, I understand. It's probably like one on the list. He's like, all right, check it off. And then
here's what I think.
Going door to door.
And now this has been my thing because I'm like, I was wondering how this art goes. Like just from before, he said it was gonna be his last album, then he didn't do it. He put like 3 more things out. And I said, okay, well, what's his trajectory of the career and how do you stay at the top of where he is forever, right? And I think that you don't, and you basically So right now, if he puts out another album within the next year or something,
yeah,
and people say, "Yo, it ain't the best album. It ain't like people aren't. It's not like the last album.
yeah,
where
it's
people
not
are
Un
playing
Verano
it.
Sin Ti.
Yeah, it's not playing nonstop. It's not number one for hella weeks. I think that's the time that he says everybody, or it doesn't have to say it or whatever he wants to do. But he basically goes away from the music and goes directly into film that he's been wanting to do for a while. People will still see the films regardless. People will see his other talents. He'll use this other stuff that he has going on that's making us upset as promo to go follow these other projects and to go see these other things that he's really wanting to do artistically.
Yeah.
He starves us while he does that. And then he comes back full-fledged with another album and people are like, oh shit, I missed him. I can't believe he was gone for so long. And then that continues him on a trajectory. But you basically use the cold times on the music to do the other things that you want to do if the music gets cold.
Yeah.
That's only if the music gets cold. But we're gonna have to see, because I couldn't see an end of like the reign of Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And in this weird sense, like the market is getting so oversaturated that we're starting to move away from, he's still the top, but we're getting other people that we can almost prefer sometimes.
Yeah. So like you're saying, like,
yeah, we're getting these people that I feel like, because most of the people that came through had like one song run. So like Ozuna, like I know he's still popping, but like how many songs did we really listen to as like a mainstream? And you had the same thing.
I mean, think about it. Romeo Santos like ran it for
still runs it for a while. But like Anuel like I think he's kind of popped off.
Ending
his run ended when he started kind of like, because there was the whole Karol G drama, that was that whole thing, and he got popping because we heard him on a Bad Bunny song, and then he kind of tried to distance himself from that whole thing to be like,
I'm still listening to Shakira.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Well, like, she's making a comeback. She's making a comeback.
Yeah. No, I'm still listening to Hips Don't Lie.
Can we just talk about like Ruben's old head status? Like Ruben really just be old heading sometimes.
He's just an uncle.
How old are you?
26.
Old as fuck, dude. Old head.
Bro, he's just an uncle. He's just like an uncle to the core.
Now, I'm an old head too, but like I still keep my ear to the streets. Like y'all don't be going outside no more.
No.
I just put 50 Cent on.
Yo, last time I saw you go outside, you went back inside.
No, but
boy, still listening to G Unit, Tony Yayo, and them.
We like Zen and I were just talking about like how we're slowly just becoming uncles, because it's like when I was a kid, I had like I didn't feel a need to listen to like cumbias or like anything like that. As I'm getting older and I'm listening to these songs, like I don't know what happened, but in like the past 2 years, Vicente Fernandez just like hits different. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
It's, I think it's like the time you spend away from like your culture, stuff like that.
I think that's no. I genuinely think that's what it is. Like I was telling Zen, like this past weekend we went to a 15, and you guys talk about it a lot. Yeah, I think, my job keeps me away from our culture a little bit. So it's like it felt like refreshing. Like it felt like I could be like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but when you're a kid, that's all you're exposed to.
Yo, sometimes
so
at work,
this shit sucks. Put on some. What was it? Put on the Killers.
Yeah.
And all of your Mexican uncles looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Yeah,
now it's the opposite. Yeah. Now you put on Vicente and people are like, what is this? You're like, turn it.
Yeah,
bro. You don't know.
No, bro. Like I was trying to show like one of my coworkers like Vicente's rendition of My Way, that Frank Sinatra song. And then I was like, yo, tell me if you recognize this song. And I start playing it. Then he's like, yo, is this from Nacho Libre? And I'm like, no, bro, fuck you. Like, I was actually trying to like culture you.
That's funny.
So to finish out what I was saying about our uncle transitioning, I feel like sometimes you ever seen that Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, when keeping it real goes wrong?
No.
So it's like this skit where they basically like, it's a fake documentary. And it's about this guy that like made it out the hood or whatever. And he's like in a boardroom meeting. And then basically he just like gets tired of like all the things going on. So he just like has a mental breakdown and just like starts cussing out everybody. And at the end, he ends up like working at a gas station. And then at the end, it's like, when keeping it real goes wrong. So it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like that sometimes where I'm just like,
you keeping it too real.
Yeah, like, or I feel like no. What I'm saying, like I'm saying, like kind of how you were saying, where you like just like miss the culture so much that you
Think you're gonna get fired for putting on Vincent?
No.
But here's what you do.
Saying,
so it's like pretty much, and it's that cycle. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. So it's like you start off as like a teenager, young adult, and you go through this life, like part of your life where you think you're so open-minded because you're intaking all these new things. You're circling back to like the past. You're finding out all these things that you feel are so interesting because your brain is so underdeveloped and you haven't intaken so much life experience. So you feel like everything is new. But because of that, you feel like you know everything and you feel like tradition and all of the things that have been around for so long should be obsolete, don't matter. You know what the new thing is, and no one else knows as much as you, even though you don't have as much life experience as them. Then you grow up and then you start being like, okay, what did I do that was like for me? And what did I do to like either get pussy or like get friends or like do these things that I think made sense for me at that time? And you basically get into that dad stage. So you notice like boys are wearing Jordans, they're doing this whole thing. They get a kid, the Crocs come out. And you're like, what the fuck? You're like, well, I realized I was doing that shit to get girls. I got a kid now and a wife. The fuck I need to be doing that shit for, right? And then you're like, I listened to this music because it made me like this different way and it made me feel like I was this way. And then you're like, what the fuck do I really like and resonate with me in my life right now? It's not necessarily all this new shit it's not yeet. You're not listening to yeet and shit. You're like,
nah, that makes my knees hurt, bro.
You're like, I feel like I need to listen to like, you get this nostalgic feeling, the feeling that you felt that you hated when you were younger, but you now feel as like communal. You feel as that familiar. You feel like this is who you are. You basically start getting into truly what you are as
like
a person.
Yeah, it's like your roots.
Yeah.
Yo, I think like the second I'm able to actually go back to Mexico, I think it's gonna be really cathartic just to like relive
I think it is.
roots.
I think that was really nice.
I don't know, man. It's just
really nice
crazy
feeling.
there now.
Yeah.
I'm not about you heard about okay, and we're gonna briefly get into this thing.
First of all,
you gotta let me get it out before you even start talking about what it is that all right. So the unfortunate situation happened where 4 American citizens crossed over into Mexico and were going for one person to get some sort of cosmetic surgery.
Lipo, I think, or
some sort of surgery that they wanted to do down there. We don't know exactly what happened. What we do know is that cartel members kidnapped these 4 people after shooting at them and killing 2 of them. So they killed 2 of them and kidnapped the other 2. The other 2 were found alive. And basically where the weird twist comes is like, it's one thing when we see it and we're like, damn, Mexico's wild. Let's not head over there. I don't know if they knew this was going to be such a big deal. What the fuck? Who talked to who? But the cartel supposedly wrote an apology letter. They wrote an apology letter and
you know why, right?
Handcuffed like 5 or 6 people that were directly involved in the situation, basically saying, here, we're giving these guys up. These are the ones responsible. They acted on their own will. They did not act on orders that we gave them. We are sorry. Condolences to the families that were affected.
You know why that happened, right? So my mom told me that they were about to, the U.S. was about to declare the cartels a terrorist group, which I think they should. But apparently the second they do that, incoming freedom. Okay. Yeah. So like think of like Forrest Gump, like that scene when everyone's in helicopters going to Nam.
So pretty much if we decide, and here's the thing is I've been getting into this drug shit a little bit, like on YouTube. I found this whole like there's this white dude. He was on Flagrant.
Yeah, that guy.
And I was watching. It was so weird. I was watching him before he went on Flagrant. Like for that week or 2, it was on my algorithm. And I got into him, and then he was on Flagrant. I'm like, man, they're really on top of this algorithm shit. Yeah. But it's this guy who was moving drugs. He was this white kid out of Oregon, and he was moving drugs, getting drugs from Colombia, getting drugs from Oregon, and shipping them to people in like New York and Washington Heights and stuff like that.
But he wasn't like the way he did it. He shipped
it all. Most of it was
he never touched anything.
Was shipping it, and then they would send money back. And he eventually ended up getting caught with the money. Like they tracked the box of money coming back, and then of course you're like,
I watched the episode.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I had been getting into that already. So I'm seeing this whole system and how it's run. And America, I don't truly think like it's kind of like those things. And like sweatshops, right? We don't want to make the phones here because we know we can't afford to make them here at a reasonable price and get the quality that we want. So we send them to another place where it's okay for them to be exploited. And I think it's the same thing with like our underground industry like that. We don't want to be responsible for having cartels here and all this stuff. We'd much rather America's the one with the drug problem. And that everyone's always said that. Mexico doesn't have a drug problem. America has a drug problem.
We don't get high on your own
and
supply.
They just supply it for us. So because of that fact, I really don't think that America wants to like do a stop on these drugs coming in because it doesn't. It's such a weird situation because it's people are going to get it regardless. So if you don't get it from Mexico, you have to find the other route to get it from. So it's a really weird situation, especially because the thing, by my understanding, I don't know, I could be completely wrong about this. I don't think the fentanyl is coming from Mexico. And that's the one that we really have a problem with. The fentanyl is coming from China or pharmaceutical companies. So the big problem that we have, which is our opioid epidemic, doesn't even include Mexico. By what I think. I could be wrong about that one. I don't know if fentanyl is coming from Mexico. Someone could be saying that I'm wilding, but I don't think it is.
It's what you saw on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
It's what the Chinese.
Everyone's been saying.
But you know how.
Did y'all see that beef on Twitter?
No, about what?
With the Twitter employee, he's a safe.
Oh wait, yes. No, I literally sent it to you guys.
Did you?
Where they're on a Teams chat or a Teams call.
No, they were. It was on Twitter. He just tweeted Elon. He's like, "Hey, I don't know if I have my job still. I can't log in." Similar to how I said my friend. Mm-hmm. He's like, "I can't log in. Y'all won't answer my emails. Do I have a job?" And then he's basically like, "How can you have a job if you've never like actually done any work?" And then he basically like lists everything he's done. And this dude was really smart. He like created a company and basically sold it to Twitter. And his health was declining, so he can't type. He has to like, and he just basically like tries to roast this dude who's like disabled and like how you type in so much on Twitter. And then it just like the whole internet like came to his aid basically and was like, bitch, text to speech. And also like this man, it was just so funny. He's like, it was crazy. In long story short, Elon ended up, no, he said, yeah, you're fired, or yeah, you don't have a job. And he's like, okay, cool. And then basically he would get sued for firing him, I think, without cause, firing him for having a disability, because he's basically like, you don't do work. He's like, I do work. I'm a manager. I don't need a code. Plus, like, my hands don't allow me to. He's like, my health has been declining. He had to explain it all online. And in his, I think his lawyers told him to not fire him. And then he ended up apologizing on Twitter and then basically saying like, oh no, you're not fired. And it was one of the craziest things. And then people have been like, there was like a fake Twitter account that went up and they're like, I got hired when everybody got fired. I've just been getting paid $90,000 to just sit here. I don't know what to do. It's just funny because I don't think it's true, but everyone's been like kind of baiting Elon because of just how he reacted. Like, he's like, what's your name? He looked him up, put his medical record out there. Just crazy ass shit. But yeah, that's
HIPAA against HIPAA law, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did it. It was insane. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it just sounded so stupid.
It's so wild to me because it does seem like his ego's so fragile. Like, he wants everyone to like him so bad, and then they don't. And it's just like this constant battle of like trying to get people to be on the side.
Because he wants to be Tony Stark, but deep down he's Lex Luthor.
And
he doesn't want to admit that he's Lex Luthor. If he just
accepted the villain arc and just went all in on villain,
Jeff Bezos,
I think he'd be good. Yeah. And Jeff Bezos is a lot more respected, I feel like, now. Yeah. Now it seems like he's a lot more respected.
I think he's on some like Bill Gates shit where he's like, no, I want you to like me. Like, look at what I do for Africa. Like,
right. And then at that same time, it just looks phony to us.
Yeah.
Because like I've been really like on this like, I don't know. I will still say like it's just one of these weird things. So, like, it's a hard position to be in, but you obviously put yourself in it and you did all this shit to get to it. But it's where it's like, as someone who just does their job, you just do your job and you like go about your business, right? When you're the figure and you're a public personality also, people just get to look at everything that you do as far as a person's concerned and then put it to whatever like your craft is and all this stuff. Like I've been watching hella videos on like how empire started and stuff like that, like how these huge companies and businesses started, and they all had to do wild shit in the beginning to get themselves to a place. And then most times people just see the company do something and don't attach it to a person. And then you just continue living your life, doing your thing. But when you're someone like Elon, you really just want to like, he really just wants to be like an engineer, but he also has to like have good PR, which is not his strong suit. His strong suit is not to be like.
He wants to be the engineer without being an actual engineer.
Well, he wants to work on design and he wants to manage the teams. He doesn't want to manage the business, in my opinion. He just wants to manage how the product gets put in.
I sent you guys this like, it's basically a Teams call that someone leaked where he's just like.
So this video of Elon Musk and a previous Twitter employee is going viral.
I mean, I think, frankly, if you want to have a really high velocity of features, I think we'll just need to do a total rewrite of the whole thing.
Wait, seriously, a total rewrite. That's your prediction for velocity.
Yeah.
Well, when you say a total rewrite, do you mean starting with the skeleton, or a bunch of engineers sit down with a whiteboard and say, "What is Twitter"? Revolution or reform?
I mean, I just mean like literally like this like you can either try to amend the crazy stack that exists or rewrite it.
But when you say crazy stack, what do you mean? Like, break it down.
Have you seen George's like diagram?
No. I mean, like, what do you mean by crazy? No, seriously. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Who are you?
What do you mean? Who am I? I don't know. You gave me the fucking mic. I got no. I'm doing the mic, and let's keep it civil in my space.
I mean, yeah.
Like what? No, man. You're in charge of the servers and the programming, whatever. Like what is the stack? Keep things technical in my space, please.
So this video of Elon Musk.
That is wild. Okay.
That's a good question. That was a great question.
No, it is a great question. And I get that the thing that throws this off is, like I said, this is that ego thing. You think that people are going to respect you and think that everything you say is genius because majority of the time that people have seen you put something in a place.
People that don't work for you.
Right. Would assume.
You.
But now when someone is just like, most people would just listen to that and say, what the fuck? Say that in their head. They're like, what the fuck does he mean? And then just figure out whatever it's going to take. So for him to go back and be like, whoa,
I could see Ruben doing that. I'm not
kind of being like, wait. Let's go a little further. So like, what do you elaborate on like what you mean and why? And I think he just feels like when you're at that type of position with that much power, that much influence, that much decision making to be like, I'll just get whoever I need to get to do this, to just be like, yeah, just start over. And it seems like the most like easy thing to say in your head, but to really put this into place of like, what are you truly asking? And I understand where, by what I've seen before, what Elon is, I guess, trying to say, where he's basically been like, we're finding crazy things embedded in all this code that we don't even know what does what or what was designed for what. In his mind, he's like,
I think he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the business. That's what the guy just asked him to do. He's like, can you explain our stack? It's like looking at it from the outside and being like, Twitter's crazy. But it's like, yeah, why? And he couldn't give you like a simple response. It's kind of wild because I would assume that the people left were all yes men, where they would be like, yes, you're going to get paid regardless. You don't care if you're building it out from the beginning or just fixing everything that's there. But it's just kind of dope that the guy's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, basically, like, just fire me if you're going to fire me. But that's a fucking stupid idea, which is a ridiculously dumb idea. It's the type of thing you hear when somebody doesn't understand it. And so is like, let's just do it all over again, because it just doesn't make sense. It's like, bitch, it makes sense if you take the time.
When you think about it too, like, if you don't truly understand the subject, you're going to talk more about it. Like, when you actually understand something, it's so easy to give a simple like reason why, and you couldn't do that. And so it just like exposed that he doesn't know.
Because he would end up, he'll say things like,
I think he was just trying to hype them up and be like, damn, that's crazy.
No,
like,
understanding what it is to be like, you know, because it'll all be dumb shit. So it'll be like, so like, what do you mean? And he'll be like, well, my engagement did less than Joe Biden's. Why did that happen? It'll be some shit like that. And it'll be like, and we're looking through the stack and we're not understanding how. Hold on. Let me just. And we're not understanding what exactly trumps other things and what's causing things. I think that, and I don't know if it exists yet, but Elon wants that TikTok button that they have that basically TikTok can promote. They can basically make whatever they want go viral. They have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I think Twitter just wasn't designed with that in mind. So it's like, that's why you don't see it. Because it's like you came in wanting this one thing. It's like, that's not what it was designed. It was designed to share ideas in a very fast way. You have millions of people trying to share things per second. So you have to build something that is able to withstand all the people trying to read this information from your phone. Every single time you scroll, you pull in information, do that very quickly, push up information very quickly, have it there so that you don't overload servers, so you can share videos on time, so you can share images, so you can link stuff, all of this stuff. That's what it was meant for. It wasn't meant to basically push a specific propaganda. So homeboy should have just bought TikTok, and he fucked up. But the rewrite is insane. I mean, I would have just been like, yeah, sure, whatever, and just, you know, just start, because it's his money. I don't care. Like, you know, you an idiot. You just, yeah.
It's
like, if you're willing to give me money to do it,
you're on the inside and you genuinely understand, and you just like what he's asking is totally like ridiculous.
Well, that's why it's pretty dope that person did that, because he didn't have to. Like, you see a lot of yes men, or a lot of people who are like, it ain't my money, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna get paid either way. If I do this or don't do this, it doesn't matter. But that kind of shows that this person did care about it, or is fed up, or just wants to leave. One of the three. But it was pretty cool to just tell Elon to shut the
honestly,
fuck up.
I could see Ruben.
I think he just got the opportunity, because he just goes, you all gave me the mic, so I'm just going to say what's on my mind.
Yeah, which is good, because some people don't do that. So,
bro, Ruben would do that. I could really...
I think if I was ready to leave, I would, and that's why I felt such a connection when he was like, because you don't see that a lot. A lot of people are very quiet. People aren't very sociable. So for somebody to be like,
yo, Ruben gave me a heart attack when he first went to New York, because the way he was talking to the people that had just hired him was so spicy. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I'll set the scene. So we're still in Houston. Homeboy just graduated. He's having to move to New York. They're paying, like, the company is paying a relocation, you know, for him to basically like move to New York. Homie's not out of the gutters. So he has. Yeah. So
yeah, they offered me some amount, and they were like, yeah, it's in New York. I was like, okay, sounds good. Like, when do I get paid? They're like, they're like, we'll give you money to move. I was like, okay, cool. When's it coming in? They're like, well, you get it after, I think, like 2 months of working. And I was like, okay, how am I supposed to move? And they're like, well, you would just move and then we give you the money. I was like, well, I'm not like most of these kids. My parents don't have money. I was like, I got like $100 in the bank account. So can I just work from here? How's this supposed to work? Like, I just basically told me like, well, I can't do anything about the money, so I'm not sure. I was like, well, that's really dumb, because I don't understand how a company who has so much money cannot afford to pay me ahead of time so that I can move. And I remember basically having to take out a loan so that I could move and then repay it, because there was no fucking way that they wanted to pay me. And it was just crazy to me that like this was not an issue before, like for no other person except for me. And I was like, it's just dumb. I was just dumbfounded at the fact. I remember also like asking them for more money because another company had offered me more money. And they were just like, yeah, man, I'll just take that other offer. I was like, what the fuck? But it was in Dallas. And I was like, I don't want to live in Dallas. Who the fuck likes Dallas?
I remember that.
No, I was like, no, I'll take New York.
I remember I was like, selfishly, I wanted him to take the Dallas one.
So you wouldn't be as far?
So he wouldn't be as far, but no, I'm glad he went to New York. But yeah, that was, and I remember he showed me the email. It said, I have no money.
Yeah.
How do you expect me to move? And I was like, you emailed them that? What's wrong with you? I was just like,
but sometimes, I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like if they want that sort of like, if you want the talent, you have to get what you need. People do that type of shit all the time for like other things, subcontractors, whatever they like. Sometimes they'll bring other people in.
I've been doing that. I didn't realize it, and I've like kind of try to taper it down. I think it's just a part of growing too. But I was applying for a job that I got an offer from, and they're like, describe like how you're different, or like from the other people. And I was like,
I'm built different. You just said I'm built different.
I stole a line from like what was it? Like ASAP Rocky's thing.
Oh
or
no,
something.
the movie Dope.
Yeah, I stole like some like line from like a movie or something. I just like pasted it in there. But it was basically a sense of like, bro, like most of these people have money. Like if you meet them, their family like comes from white collar, or their family's here. So like it's really nice when you like meet somebody who's like of color and whose like family like came from nothing, because you can relate to them like so much, and you're just like, damn, like this is really sick. Because otherwise it's like, it's really weak.
Type in like, oh, where I come from, you either end up dead or
yeah, that's what I said. I was like, where I come from, you either end up dead or in jail. That's what I said, because it was true. I'm just like, none of y'all, like, you meet these people like, oh, my dad was a doctor, my dad's like this, or my mom does this, or like, you know, they have a master's.
It's like the scene in You People where like Eddie Murphy's like, what did your dad do? He was a podiatrist. What did his dad do? He was a podiatrist.
Exactly. And so it's really dope when you meet somebody who's not like that, and you're just like, damn, like we came from the gutter. And like, because you compare yourself to these people, but then you're like, we didn't start at the same like starting line. We're at the same place in like this race that we're running, but like I have to, you know, give myself some props for not being in the same spot. And so I remember kind of like hiding that, where I was like, well, it doesn't really matter. But then my little brother kind of, he tells everybody, bro, he's like, bro, I was fucking poor. He's like, man, I don't know any of this shit. Like he just lets like all like, you know, like the slang and like just like he just like lets it all out. He doesn't give a fuck. And so I was like, damn, I heard him talk to his boss, but he's just like roasting his boss. He's like, hey, somebody said I wrote bad code. He's like, but then I found out it was you. He's like, it wasn't even me. And I was like, damn, you talked to your boss. After that, I was like, bro, I need to like, it's like removing that filter of like, this is kind of how I am, and this is where I'm from, and it's okay to be that way. Basically, that's why y'all hired me.
Basically, authenticity.
That's where keeping it real goes.
That's
right.
where. Well, that's sometimes depends on who you talk to, but it's all about authenticity in that sense, where people do feel like, all right, I know. And this was I was watching. I'm telling you, I've been really getting into these things about how these businesses are run. And there was one business, and I can't even remember what it was, where he basically said, look, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. I just think that this is a good idea, and I just need the money to make this happen. This is where we're at. We're doing this much, but we're not making anything off of this right now. And I don't know how we're going to make money off of this, but I know that a lot of people, I'm pretty sure it was what ended up becoming, it's like this Chinese WhatsApp basically, to basically be like, I have this idea and I think that this is going to be huge. I just don't know how yet. And he was 100% honest. And because of that, people were like, yo, I like that authenticity. We'll figure that part out. We know someone's not just coming in here trying to act fake confident. You were telling me what it is that you do know you have and what it is that you don't know you have. And he got that investment, and it, you know, became like the biggest company in China. But you really do see that in some of these things, it is, we kind of fall into this place where everyone's told us, we get taught by institutions to be a part of a system, to be a part of an organization, and to work within this machine. And the only way to actually be something, do something that like can surpass that, is to go against the grain and basically be like kind of delusional and be like, I think there's something special about me that like I can go above this system and create my own system. And once you do that, you essentially leave the matrix. And
God damn it.
From there, you pretty much are able to operate. So it's like when you're in school, and this was like, I was listening to this guy who was pretty much Cliff Note and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he's in school and he's asking his accounting professor if he's an accountant. And he goes, yes, I have a master's in accounting. So, but are you an accountant? Yes, I have a master's in accounting. But have you ever been an accountant? No, I've never been an accountant. Okay, so I'm learning from someone who's never actually been in the situation of the day-to-day of being an accountant, of actually doing this. You just read some books, were given a degree, and now are qualified to teach me. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting any life experience from you, that I'm actually learning anything that's going to help me out in this real life situation, other than just getting this degree or whatever, being in the system. So we dipped. Because, I mean, if you are a professor, you are in a system. You are at a place that you only know what you're in. You can only tell people or teach people how to work within a system that's already kind of set and put in place. And I don't know, I feel like that's what you realize. The more authentic people are, the more people feel like that's something different, that's not something they see, and they kind of see someone not working within like the normal system. Sometimes people don't like that, but sometimes people respect that. It really just becomes a hit and miss depending on how you truly feel about what it is, like how truly passionate you are about like the things that you want to say or things you want to express and whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
But I think we got it. I think we hit it on the nail. We out here, we in here.
So to summarize it, Team Selena, we're keeping an eye out for Selena. Haley is secretly a fan, and she's a mean girl.
Same thing with Kylie.
Same thing with Kylie, and Justin's still in love with Selena. Elvira's words, not mine.
And we ship Justin and Selena, even though it's been 5 years.
Even though it's been 5 years, that song slap with Nicki Minaj.
It's the only time that the divorce is okay is in this Justin Bieber situation, according to everybody online.
Yeah.
According to everybody online. So with that being said,
they don't have kids. There's no one to mess up but themselves, you know?
Right. So shouts out the internet. Benito, straighten your act up. We on Raul now. And 281-330-8004. You feel me? It is what it is. We out here. Pull up to Anchor. Drop the anchor.
Elon, just lean in. Just be the bad guy. Be the supervillain.
And we out. Bye.